A little quick governor removal video for you guys. First, make sure that you're taking out all your oil, all of it. Next, what you want to do is remove these 6 bolts all in the corner. After you remove all 6 bolts, you want to wiggle it from right here and right here. It comes off just like that. Watch out with your cam. I know this cam is ugly because it's plastic, but it tends to get stuck on the cover and it comes out with it. Make sure you don't drop it or anything. And then watch out with the lifters because they do tend to poke out. And if they do fall, just make sure you clean them. Also, you want to watch out with these things. You don't want to lose them. They align the cover. Next thing you want to do is remove your gas tank. After you unscrew your gas tank, you want to remove the 4 bolts on the corners. Be 4 bolts. And the pull to start will just come off. And then you're going to take off the flywheel. I recommend an impact. Got this little snap on right here. The plastic fins, you want to take them off. Will come off right away. And then you want to go over here to your coil. You want to take that off first before you take this off. After you're going to remove that, you're going to want to get a hammer and a pry tool to go back here. Kind of like a small crowbar or something. This is how I like to do it. Find it the easiest. Put your bolt back on. And just leave a tiny gap. Like so. Like that's cool. I do not have a pry bar, but I have this. And what we're going to do is put it right here. And we're just going to push against, we're just going to push. We're not laying it on the block or anything. We're just going to push the flywheel out. While I'm pushing on the flywheel, at the same time, I'm going to hit it very lightly. Like something like that. Probably a little harder. And just like that, it's off. And just like that, it gets loose enough so you can take it out. Just like that. Watch out with this little thing, because sometimes they fall out, and you don't want to lose that, because that's what holds your flywheel in place. After you do that, you're going to want to remove the 2 bolts that are holding the connecting rod. Remove those 2, because we're going to take out the shaft. After you take those 2 bolts off, this is all you want to take out, just the bottom part. After you take off that part, the shaft should just come out. Takes a little wiggling, but eventually you'll get it and it'll come out just like that. The reason we want to take off the shaft is because we want to get rid of this thing right here, and that's just the governor gear. And with the governor not being in there, it's useless. I'm using my old flywheel as support. You want to get one of these, and you want to put it right on top of that gear. And you want to slowly hammer it all around, slowly, gently. You don't want to break your shaft. After hitting it a few times, it should come out just like that. That's useless. You can throw that away. Your shaft should now look like this. No gear there. Now it's got extra clearance. After you have the bare block, basically, you're going to want to take off the governor arm. After you remove the governor arm, this thing should just fall out. Should just fall right there. Here's that little governor arm. You don't need this anymore. You can throw this shit away. And then you want to go to where the flywheel goes and grab one of these and gently hammer the governor out, and it'll slowly come out. And I know the governor's not on there, but that's because I had already removed it. This is just a way better way that it's always going to work no matter what. As you can see, take that washer off of there. You do not want that in your engine. Take that washer out. You do not want that. Now pay very close attention. These are 1/4 by 20, 1 inch. The one you put up here, you could just put it in like that. The one you put down here where the governor's at, you're gonna have to cut half of the bolt, so like up to like right there. Cut half of it, so it won't poke in there and touch any of your internals. You want to cut the bolt in half. You got a little thing right here. Cut it in half. Cut it to half, about like right there. Get some Loctite to put on the threads. After you dab it up with some Loctite, you want to put a washer on there so it makes a seal. So the one that is not cut, go ahead and put some Loctite and it goes on the top. You want to torque it down with an impact, and then you want to hit it with the number 11 or 7/16. After you torque it down with an impact, you want to go ahead and go with the 7/16 or 11 and tighten it all the way down. You do the same thing for the one that's cut, except for the cut one, you put it where the governor used to go. After you have done those two, first thing you want to do is just shove your shaft back in there and align it with the piston and the rod, so you're able to torque it down to at least 14 to 20 foot-pounds. Now that you got that torqued down to at least 20 foot-pounds, 17 was all right. You want to clean and put your lifters in, and they go in right there. After you put your lifters in there, you want to put your piece of shit cam, or if you have a dyno cam, you know what I'm saying, put it in there and align it with the circle in the back. Make sure that your dots line up. There it is. Make sure they align properly, just like that. You can go ahead and put your cover back on. Make sure you got a gasket for it. Grab your 6 bolts and put them on the cover. Got this side done. Let's go to the flywheel. I'm gonna be putting in this cheap $25 flywheel right here. Budget build. This is just like any other flywheel. Just put it in through the groove. Torqued it down with the impact. It's nice and sturdy on there. Then you want to connect your coil, and there's a coil trick. So put it next to the magnet or stick. When you have it on the position to go ahead and bolt it in, grab a credit card, put it in between the magnet and the coil itself, and let it stick on there. And just with that space that the credit card makes, go ahead and bolt it down, and that should give you more than enough clearance for your flywheel to make spark with the spark plug and the coil. And the credit card trick always works flawlessly, always. Want to go ahead and get your cover and put it on there, 4 bolts. Then you want to mount your gas tank. After you assembled all that, you want to check if you have compression, so let's go ahead and take off the little head thing. You want to grab your pushers and you want to align them with the lifters on the bottom. After you align them with the pushers on the bottom, you're going to want to go ahead and grab this, apply pressure to the top, and as you apply pressure to the top, you want to move the groove on top of the push pin. Exactly like that. It's going to be a little, yeah, exactly like that. If you already have compression before, all you got to do is that. If you didn't, readjust these, and I believe they go 0.300 ratio. Should be able to move it a little bit, at least like this. After you want to put in the HOV on the head. After all that, you want to put your clutch back in if you have a straight chain. I have a jack shaft. Those things fucking suck. Don't forget to fill it up with oil. You want to make sure all your bolts are tightened. And the oil's going to come out. All done. Just put it back together. Just take it on a test drive. It works great.